Hello, Adnan. I'm trying to be
Wow, very
explicit.
direct. I love the clarity and the lack of ambiguity there. Hello, Mary. How do you do?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Welcome back to
Yes.
PLIF. How did it feel to finally take a break
Oh,
from
yeah.
PLIF?
I
From
guess
PLIF,
you
not a break in your life, you know what I mean? Like from PLIF.
I guess you haven't taken a break yet, right?
No, not
Hmm.
officially. No, I mean not. I mean technically, if you watch the last PLIF, it seems like I did take a break. Somebody checked out, you know. But
Took a
um,
chest break.
yeah, you have to watch it to really feel the pain.
I will. Um, how does it feel? It feels like it was longer than it was. At least for
Hmm.
me. It was like, oh, it's been a while. Especially because the last time we were both on here, we were not working on Cocoon too, so it's been
Yeah.
quite a few weeks.
Yes. Correct. So, um, what's our goal today then?
I think our goal is to set up Cocoon on my computer and
So a little bit of
go from
backstory.
there.
Who's gonna give this backstory? You're like, what's the
Backstory?
backstory? Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
what is the backstory? So
It's yeah.
a little bit of backstory here is on the side in the many side gigs that Mary has and does. She's also been learning how to code, and that journey is like it takes a while. I think we've been conditioned by a number of different systems that are out there that this is something kind of fairly fluid or easy to do. And while it's not rocket science or brain surgery or rocket surgery, it is certainly not like as fluid as one might imagine, right? Whatever idea you had of like what's it like to code or learn code. Um, yeah, there's a number of challenges, a lot of practice. You have to do a lot of homework, and so Mary's been doing that. And one of the things we want to try and do here is try and get the Cocoon app working locally because currently it works locally on my machine, and then we deployed to a service called Code Sandbox. We tried to get it. No, we haven't even tried to get into Replit, but Mary and Replit are taking a break um, uh, for
Yes.
now. So an idea was, hey, you've been learning how to code. Are you willing to go through the struggle of trying to set it up on your local machine? And that will give you access to the code. It will also give you, if you use something like Cursor or Windsurf, it'll give you access to a potential AI agent that you could leverage alongside your code to experiment with the code base and giving you access to ideation that you might have to wait for or like not have immediately. I will add that uh, like it might we might not have a successful ending to the stream where like it's set up and it's ready to go. And the reason for that, there's multiple reasons for that. Mayor's personal computer is a Windows machine, and I don't really have any experience setting up Node and setting up this kind of stuff on a Windows machine. So I do technically, but it was under what's called WSL, so the Windows subsystem for Linux, which I'd prefer not to like. That's another layer that gets added, and like in Mary's like coding learning journey, that's like there's too many layers to add all at once. And so we'll just try and get it working on the Windows system itself. And I'm a bit um, uncertain of how this will go. So there might be cases where we're debugging a lot, where we're trying to figure it out off the go. This is unplanned in a sense. We just decided right before starting the stream that we were going to do this. So you may see cases of like, oh, it's not working. Let's try this. Let's try that until it works or until we give up. So just setting the stage for that. A lot of times, based on the errors Mary has, I might off screen here on my computer be searching for solutions because that's what we do, right? Like we run into errors, we search for solutions, we try and figure it out, all in days of a coder's life. So that's sort of the plan, and Mary agreed to it. Um,
I'm very
so
scared.
same, yeah. Like
I'm
like
very
there's
scared
always
either way.
Yeah. That even makes it better actually. I'm hesitant because generally, like, okay, even streaming something that you're kind of just building off the cuff itself is sort of nerve-wracking, but I generally trust myself to know the tools that I'm using. But here now I'm doing it in a tool that I don't use. So where does it go, right? Well, I think it's a competence issue for me. Like I don't want to
Mm.
entirely incompetent if we're really getting deep into my psyche. It's like the competence I'm comfortable with, incompetence I'm comfortable with appearing, but like a complete loser. Come on, what are we doing here? So that's the risk. That's the risk
That's
I'm
all.
taking.
That's all words from yourself.
Okay, I'm just saying you're safe, Mary. I'm the one who has taken a big risk appearing
Okay,
completely incompetent.
cool, cool. That's excellent.
Does that make it a little bit more exciting for you?
A little bit, yeah. At least a little bit.
Good. I'm glad. Um, okay, so we have to figure it out step by step. So, do you have windsurf set up on your local machine?
Yes.
Maybe you can load windsurf up, and we'll kind of take this step by step.
Just like share my screen
Yeah,
with
share your windsurf
Windsurf.
screen.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're comfortable, maybe at some point sharing broadly um, your whole screen, that might be useful. But if you're on a wider monitor, that might be a bit weird. We'll see. We'll figure it out step by step. So this is such an experimental stream. It's ridiculous. Okay.
When you say it's ridiculous, it really just makes me think of Rick and Morty. I don't know why.
You know, the biggest compliment I've received from you was earlier today. I don't know if you intended it as a compliment. Do you know what it was?
Me saying that you give off Rick vibes.
Yes, I was so happy. Like just I didn't even react to it much, but internally I was like,
That's funny. Is that what you aspire to be?
I think it's who I already am internally, and I hide it, you know. And so I
Are
was
you
like,
sure you
what?
hide it?
I was like, wubba dubba dub dub. It's a thing I'm trying. You know, like that's internally or whatever. I forget. You remember that? He's like, I'm trying a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
So that's what I felt like. But I might go watch the series from the beginning again, just because I feel like I haven't, and I really just the Rick energy. I really like. It's just I don't know. I really enjoy it. So thank you for that. Yeah, what a delightful thing. It seems like you already have here set up
I
some.
have something set up. I don't know
Have
what.
have you used? So you've used windsurf in this context before? Is that correct?
No,
Then
no.
then where are these recent
I
projects
don't
coming from?
know. I think they are from my GitHub. Maybe. Maybe it just knows that I have a GitHub folder
So
on
and
my
yeah,
computer. Yeah.
that's interesting. This is, I guess, the part of the discovery process. Um, Sorry, this is my brain still on Rick because not only that, but somebody else at work shared
Yeah.
a clip
I
where
don't
I
know. So
was.
I don't think you're hiding it very well if you're trying to hide it.
No, that even makes me delighted actually. Like you don't understand. Like if that's the character people want to associate me with, then I need to learn how to burp while I talk. I swear, like that's the like that's the thing I'm missing. Uh, and
If
so
you're
actually
doing,
that's
oh my god, if you're doing that, imagine like how many more fans we would have. Like,
if I just let
yeah.
my true inner Rick out more. Hmm. It's so good. Okay, sorry. Focus. No, delight. What a delight. What what an absolute gift. Okay, so yeah, I'm curious. Tell me about GitHub because we do need to set you up with GitHub as well, because we need to get the code from GitHub here. Tell me about using GitHub on Windows before. Have you done it? How much have you done it? And where you're at with that?
I've used it like here and there. I don't know if I used it properly.
Yeah, that's no big deal. Okay, so you already have Git installed on your system. Then you have GitHub access already on your current machine. Is that correct?
I think so.
Okay,
I don't know
that's
how.
wonderful.
I don't know how to check.
Then what you had done with GitHub before, like how did you get the code from GitHub onto your Windows machine? Because it seems like you have a GitHub folder there, right?
Yes, I do have a folder. It's probably not.
I'm asking because the goal is to get the Cocoon from your GitHub onto your machine. And if something else you've already done before, then I would ask you just to do it again. If it's something you have not done before, then we need to figure out how to do it on a Windows machine, which I'm currently Googling here. And the easiest way might be that GitHub has a desktop app.
Yes, that one I do have. I think that's what I did.
Amazing. Are you able to share that? I don't use the GitHub app, so I'm not sure what it looks like or how it works.
Yeah.
But that definitely might be a better interface for you as you're sort of still getting used to the terminal and other things. So let's open the GitHub app and let's see if we can't pull the Cocoon code from GitHub onto your local machine. And that's a great starting point for us.
Okay. I also, for some reason, put my GitHub folder in completely a terrible place on my computer.
Is there really a good place for a GitHub folder anyway?
Yeah,
you know?
like is there? I have no idea. Is this a
I wouldn't worry
rhetorical
about
question? Or?
Yeah, it's as long as you know where it is, that's what really counts.
Okay, you don't understand. I put it in like a OneDrive that I don't have enough storage in.
No, now I understand. Yes, it is in a terrible place. You probably want it in your
Where should I
actual. You could put it directly in your C drive if you want. You can put it in like C drive documents. You know, like anywhere on your hard drive that you will not forget.
And do I just move the folder there, or is there something
that should work?
Okay.
And if it doesn't, like no worries, we'll figure it out. But once you have that folder moved, I don't think you necessarily even have to move that folder, honestly, because with GitHub, you can pull a repository from GitHub into wherever on your computer. They don't all have to be in the same location. It's just an organizational thing, not a technical need.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready, share your GitHub desktop, and we'll see if we can pull the Cocoon code onto your machine.
Let me share. I don't know how to get out of a repository.
Let me see. You're in OpenAI Assistant's test repository, is that correct?
Yes. This is something I did like a year ago.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know either. I don't have the GitHub app. This side panel that you have, is there a way to close it? Perfect. Let's stay out of that for a second. It seems like this is a display of repositories that are already on your local environment.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if you click a repository up top? I'm curious whether like in the menu up there. Okay, this just seems like it's for this repository. Maybe the file option will clone repository. That's the one we want. Great. So now what it's doing is it's offering us repositories that you have access to in github.com. Go ahead and type in Cocoon. I see Cocoon blob there already.
Oh, that's my little like animation thingy.
Oh, fantastic. All right, you're a now this duck, which is shared between you and I, that's the one you want to click on. And then below there, you could see the path to where this will be. So essentially, yeah, you could choose. You can also just maybe click on it and remove OneDrive. Like I don't know what's in one, like yeah. And now you have GitHub directly in your thing, and if you clone it, your other repositories will be where they are, but your Cocoon repository will be on that path. And oh, I see. I'm just not familiar with this interface, but it seems like it doesn't show you all the files. It only shows you the changes. And we don't have any changes here, so seems like we're fine. And then what you want to do is, sorry, what was that? Oh, the history. Yeah. So all these changes, all these commits that have been made, you can review them and you could be like, give me feedback on my code. You could be like, Adnan, this is done inefficiently. What are you doing? you're ruining.
I thought you were saying that I could ask you for feedback.
No, you could be like, what is this?
Okay.
What is this code you added? No. So great. It just shows that the repository is there now. Let's go back to Windsurf and let's add the project to your code, and we'll try and take it from there.
Do I just do open folder or?
Yes, open folder. Why I see this now, we could have done clone repository right in Cocoon. I'm just noticing that now at the bottom, as you can see. Well, maybe you can't see because.
Oh. Wait, where did I put it?
Users, McMary, GitHub, Cocoon. By the way, I can't see it. This is just from memory.
Yeah, I'm looking. Oh, I see it. Cool.
Yes, you trust. Fantastic. So now you have in Windsurf the code base. If you don't mind, just for me and my old man eyes, if you can Command plus or Control plus or whatever the equivalent. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Maybe one less, just so we can see more on the screen. Perfect. Let's play around with this environment and interface just so we can just become a little bit more familiar with the Git aspect of it too. I know that we've used it before for kind of HTML and CSS development and some mild JavaScript, but here we'll try and take a look at what more we can do here. So go ahead and click on the search, like right below the Explorer. So like, yeah. And there's different files here. Maybe you could search for mood. So now it's searching for the word mood in the entire code base. So this is kind of like, this is what it feels like when you go through somebody else's code base. It's like, what? Where do I go? Where do I look for things? And it does take a little bit of time to get familiar with it. But the idea is here that you could search for code if you know a certain line of code that you're looking for. Where it's particularly useful once we get set up is sometimes you look at a web page and it has some text on it and you're like, where's the source of that? And you copy the text and you search for it here. And that doesn't always work, but it clues you. And that's one sort of super early basic technique of like not knowing anything and just going from the visualization to where it might be in the code. It's not a surefire thing, but it can work. So that's just, you don't have to know everything all up front, but there's so much to learn. Like learning an IDE is its own skill. People use IDEs for years and never get good at them. Oh yeah, if you want to search for any of the feelings.
Suspicious.
Yeah,
Suspicious,
and
suspicious.
there, yeah. I mean, you did this to yourself, by the way. You duplicated using AI, but click on it. Let's click on one of those. So just click on one of those lines, and now boom, you're in that line.
Ah,
If you click on another suspicious, it'll take you to that
I
specific
see.
suspicious line.
Oh, cool.
And now you're in the file based on exactly this. This is a great experience of like finding a file. It gets more complicated, but this is one of the more simple flows off that. Let's there's more here. One thing I really like, I know where it is. Sorry, I'm not a VS Code user either. So for me, it's a little bit, but I have a basic idea. So that's one search. I want to show you another search. You know, up top where it says Cocoon Feelings, right in the center up
Yes.
top. If you click on that, I think this might give you file search. Go ahead and start typing a file name like how, How. So how are
Ooh.
you.view, right? So great. So if you want to search for a file, you go up top. If you want to search for a word, you go to the side. I think that's what it seems like.
Okay.
It says here, do you
Cool.
want to install the recommended Vue.js extension? Yes, we actually do, it turns out, because we're using Vue and having the proper extension installed will help. So go ahead and install that. And this is
Is
kind of
that
the,
so? The extension is for the IDE.
yes. So now this extension is
Okay.
installed in your IDE. And now when it looks at a Vue file, it knows about it a bit more. Otherwise, it was just
I
text.
see.
But now it understands it a bit more as a Vue file. So if you go back now, having installed this to that file, you'll see that it's like, I don't know if you noticed before, but it was not as, the syntax wasn't highlighted properly,
Hmm.
but now it is because it's now properly recognizing it as a full Vue file versus just like some raw HTML file. So that's, so we'll go through this a few times.
Why is
You'll
this
notice,
red?
yeah, I was just gonna say, you'll notice the red underlines because it's seeing some errors in the file. It's for a number of different reasons. I don't know off the top of my head what they are just yet, but let's see. You know, on line 2 where it says current mood snapshot,
Yeah.
let's just hover over that. It says cannot find name. Um, okay, I think I know why. We're using something called Nuxt, okay? And so as I explain this, please don't feel the need to completely get what I'm saying. Like it comes after layers and layers of sort of knowing things. We have not learned Vue, or you have not learned Vue as part of your coding classes, though you might. Um, but Vue uses something called Nuxt. Nuxt, it's just a thing. Anyway, it uses Nuxt, and Nuxt has some helpful tooling that allows an IDE like this to know where variables are defined. Okay. So right now there's a variable defined somewhere in some other file called current mood snapshot,
Hmm.
but this Vue file doesn't know where it's defined. And you could explicitly define it, right? You could explicitly connect it. You could explicitly require it or import it. But Nuxt makes that implicit and gives you the benefits of not having to redefine or import. We don't have that benefit just yet because we haven't installed Nuxt on our computer. So that'll
Okay.
come. Okay, that'll come bit by bit. Hopefully, we have to do it today. For it to be success, we have to install Node on your machine. We have to install Nuxt on your machine. We have to install the app, and we have to get it running. That's a successful flow of events. Let's see. All right. As we go through different files, you might be asked to install an instruction, to install an extension. I would just get you to be highly aware to not dismiss it immediately because we might need to install it. So let's just,
Okay.
every time something pops up, just let's review it together. Now, below the search thing, you'll see like sorry, not that search thing, but the other on the sidebar. Below the search, there's a Git thing, or it's called a source control. So here, very similar to what you saw in the GitHub thing, you can see the commits below,
Hmm.
like where we change things. If you click on any one of them, I think you might see a diff.
Mm.
Yeah, so you see the what's called a diff. This is what we call a diff. It shows the difference between what was and what is
Yeah.
in that specific commit. And then if you go back to the Explorer, like the how are you file, for example, maybe
Wait, where'd it go?
it's the first file in the on the tabs.
Oh,
Yeah,
there.
and just change anything. Like on after line 8, just add bunch of slashes, forward slashes. So these are comments, so they won't impact the app. Slash slash is how you add a comment in JavaScript, and then space, hello there, or whatever. So there you go. Okay, that's enough. And now press Control S to save it. And now that's saved. Great. Now let's go back. Now, even before we go back, hold on. You saw the 1 pop up there. I just noticed that. So it's telling you there's a change in your app that's not committed. You have an uncommitted change. Now you could go up here and now you could commit this change. I would actually go ahead and even commit it just for the practice of committing something that isn't, like, have you committed code before actively, like intentionally? You must have. You have a GitHub.
Yes. I don't know how intentional.
Okay, not confidently. Great. So because I don't want to be like, I don't want to mansplain something you've, mansplain something you've done. But I'm gonna be in total mansplain mode today, and you let me know when I'm describing something you already know. Okay.
No. It's interesting because at one of my jobs, like the product we built was about like creating backups, and I actually designed like the whole like diff situation and like used GitHub as like a reference for design purposes. So on the higher level, I think I understand the purpose, but
yeah, because when I was defining the diffs, you said like an which kind of implied it had the force of I know what you're talking about. So I did sense it, just so you know, like, and you did that. So don't even pretend like that didn't happen. It absolutely happened. I sensed it, and I'm like, how what's my explanation level I need to be?
Okay. Any are there like rules of thumb for like the commit message?
Yes, but we can sort of work our way there. I don't think like right now, I don't think you should worry too much about like having the right commit message. Although for now, don't commit, please. Sorry, just in case. Sorry, give it a second. I don't know how this interface exactly works, so let's discover it together. You know where it says changes and there's a file there? Can you click on that file, the how are you file? Okay, so it's showing you, so that you can go file by file. Sometimes you will have multiple changes, and this is a great time to just review the changes that you've done. Make sure that you haven't left any code in there. Like maybe you left a logging statement in there that you don't want to commit, or maybe there's something weird. So here's a great environment for you to just review your own code before you commit it. That's why I was like, hey, let's not rush to commit.
What does stage mean?
Yeah. I would love not to have to explain it to you at this current moment, but at some point we will. Actually, no, I will. I'll try. I'll try.
Okay, never mind.
Hold on, wait a minute. You said I wonder how much of the product that you were designing around sort of a commit history or revision history would have whether it had a staging environment. So let's put it this way. A staging is kind of like a pre-commit environment where you have expressed intent to commit this code. I know I'm not describing it very clearly. It's off the top of my head, which is like right now that code is not even committed, and there's no indication whether there's any intent to commit it.
Mm-hmm.
When you state something, you're like, I'm probably going to commit this thing. So
it's like ready to commit?
Yeah, it's like this medium mode. Now that's one usage of it. So I don't want to like just say that's the only thing. There's many potential usages of it, but it's an environment where you can kind of move some code one step up. Let's actually go ahead. So can you hover over the plus and the arrow? I just want to see what. So this one says revert, good. And the one below says stage, excellent. So I didn't want to go through reversion here. Like you can discard your changes in a file. If you revert, so if you go back to the file itself under changes and you hover over the undo, like the file name, that says discard changes. That will discard all your changes in a file. Okay. Now, if you just go over that one specific change, that will just revert that block. So let's actually go back to the how are you thing, and let's somewhere below, let's add a different change. Yeah, so let's really feel this against our skin, as it were, and just add another not there. It turns out you want to add. So a JavaScript comment would need to be in the script blocks.
Oh, okay. I see.
So somewhere, yeah, there where you are is fine. The only other thing that is mildly bothering me is how there's no spacing above and below, or above or below the comment, and it's kind of it's unclear what the comment is about, even though it just says hello. So maybe just above. Yeah, there you go. Like, okay, great. It's just a comment. It's a comment in the middle of nowhere.
Wait, should it be like?
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah, this might be, actually. You know what? I would love to try the AI component of this. Can you go back to your comment and remove the hello? And let's see if the AI tries to give you what the function might be doing, which is what it is. So let's go ahead and tab and accept this. Perfect. Right? So now you've essentially added a comment using AI for what this function does. Let's do something similar to in this other place.
This one?
Yep. Great. It's already ready. Perfect. So now we've added a couple of comments. Let's go ahead and save.
Okay. I don't understand why this is red.
I do not know either, but I'm not too worried about it at this stage. Yeah, so it seems like we have two places where we have a diff. It seems like there's a... Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know why on the right side should be the old code. I'm slightly confused looking at this diff. It doesn't make sense. Like, why on line 12 on the left side, that comment is there, but it was never there before? Yeah. Let's just reset. Let's just take a moment to reset and make sure that we're not...
How do you reset? Just discard?
Yeah, let's discard those changes. Okay, so now that's gone, and now everything seems to be like fairly normal. Let's go back to our file. Let's just add one comment. Let's just take it step by step again.
Oh, is it because the AI like just moved?
Oh shit! Oh, I see. That makes total sense. I did not realize. Yes, absolutely. So that was the correct diff.
Yeah, I also didn't notice. And now the AI is like, I'm not writing shit for you.
Exactly. It's like you had your one chance and you messed up.
Yeah.
Go ahead and type in a capital C.
So funny.
It doesn't want to. Now it's like, one time only. That's fine. What you can do is actually, what I recommend, Mary. Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah, you can. Yeah, it's already, actually, if you stop here, it's already indicating, hey, you have that line below. Let me pull it up top. So I haven't used Windsurf, so this is pretty cool to see. There's a very neat AI feature, and now that makes sense. Go ahead and save. Let's add the other comment. Go ahead and save. Now it's like, okay, we're friends again.
Oh, it's getting rid of this too, or?
Yeah, that's why it was red. That's, or it's saying you should get rid of it, but not actually getting rid of it, or it's saying there's some duplication, because it says take me to the next screen, and you'll see that, like on line 34, that comes from line 37. So the AI is not just like done it from scratch. The AI has just copied my comment. Okay, so let's just. So now you're seeing the diff. You're seeing the lines being changed where they are, and now you might be like, hey, I don't want this change. Yeah, and so go ahead and revert just this block, and now it's gone. So that's where you might revert one specific thing without being like, I want to revert everything.
Oh,
this
so
is great,
like,
actually. Yeah.
Can you like only stage parts of?
Yes. Yeah. You can do both. You can stage an entire file, very similar to discard. Exactly. That would stage the entire file.
Okay.
Or you could stage just certain things as well. Because you
would that get confusing?
Yes, absolutely. But it's available to you. Git is not like a beginner tool necessary, but there's a way to limit your usage of it so that you're doing only simple things. Now, a use case for staging only chunks, so we'd call these differences chunks, is You might have made some code changes on the top of the file and some below, but maybe you only want to commit the ones at the top. So you'd only stage those ones and then commit. So whatever you stage gets committed. Okay. Now in this environment, it seems that you could go directly to commit without staging, because commit is the first thing. And I think they're just trying to simplify precisely what you said. So I think this interface just allows you to commit straight up, which is kind of nice, right? You do things, you don't have to stage, you just commit. But typically you would stage, and then commit if you're using command line git or maybe some other interface. Let's go ahead and make this commit. Added a comment is fine. And let's go ahead and commit.
So I don't need to do this?
I guess not. Let's see. Let's not do it and see what happens.
Oh, I don't think I saved.
Oh yeah, good call. Oh, you know why? Because we unchanged. We flipped.
Yeah.
And the revert we had to save.
You can't see this, but it says there are no staged changes to commit. Oh, I guess
Great.
you do need to
You
stage.
do need to stage. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. So
And
go
then
ahead
it
and add.
says, and then it says, would you like to stage all your changes and commit them directly?
Okay,
and
so
I have-
it does give you that option.
I have the option of yes, always, never, or cancel.
Let's just cancel. I would recommend practicing staging, like reviewing your code, staging the file. Review. That's what I do. Like I go over each
Okay.
file. I look at the diff. I stage it, and then I commit it. So go ahead and click that big plus. And now, great. You have stage changes and changes. So now it moves it to a different category. And now only the things that are staged will be committed. That's your first commit. Now you can see there below that added a comment. It says Mary Ma beside it. And now if you sync changes, it will push them to the repository. And then I will be able to see that comment on GitHub. And I'll be like, hey, Mary, why did you move my comment from line 12 to line 10? What is happening here?
I actually would love to see that.
Yeah. But go ahead. Is it syncing? Great.
It's syncing.
Okay, perfect. So, all right. So we had kind of a mini lesson here.
We have a little something.
Would you like Windsurf to periodic run git fetch? I would say
What does that mean?
I know I laugh because Git has so many layers, and I'm like, I'm going to say a lot of words that you may or may not understand, but I don't want to add too much. But I'll explain it, and I'll let you decide how you feel about it. I would accept this. This is a very safe thing to do. Okay. So Git is so cool and is multi-layered, but it also makes it complex, but also makes it very powerful. When you commit a change, it's still committed in your local repository. Okay, so it's not shared broadly. When you push a change or when you sync a change, it is then moved up. It's pushed to there. Okay, but the repository itself locally has many layers. You can have multiple branches, right? You can have multiple commits, but not be working them on all of them at the same time. So typically, are you familiar with the concept of branching a Git, like creating a branch on a Git repository?
Vaguely.
Okay, no worries. By default, what used to be a master branch or a main branch, usually now, is the default branch. You can work on it and commit to it, no problem. But let's say you're not ready to you're committing the feature, but you're not entirely ready to commit to the whole thing. You're kind of just working on it. Or multiple developers, like at work, we have multiple developers working on it. They don't want to work in the same branch as their changes might impact each other unintentionally. So they work on different branches, and the branches isolate the changes. You can have this locally. You can have multiple branches. And then when you get pushed, all those branches, and the branches consist of many commits, all those get synced and pushed to Git. When you fetch, Git is updating its local repository to what's in the remote repository. But it will not immediately update your current working branch necessarily. So you will have two versions potentially of that branch. So you know how you have a main branch here? Let's say I made some changes and I push my changes. And if you git fetched,
Mhm.
that my commits would be in your local repository, but not in your local branch. That may be slightly confusing, but fetch pulls without merging. Git pull fetches and merges on that branch, but git fetch doesn't. Git fetch kind of happens on the
It-
background.
okay.
Yeah, that's
I,
why I was like, how deep do I want to go?
I think I vaguely understand,
Yeah,
but you're starting to sound like a riddle.
great. This is when I'm hesitant explaining something, it's really now you understand why I'm like, do I want to get into this? Like, there's so many layers, and then again, like, I think based on that change is good to do. It's not gonna cause any issues, which is probably why it was suggested. If there wasn't like an automatic git pull, we don't want that. Git fetch, it could cause issues, but not a big deal. No worries. Okay, so now we had a mini git in the IDE lesson. By the way, this is not how I have never actually used this interface. Not never, but like maybe once or twice ever. Um, so I'm not familiar with this particular. I use the command line or use a plugin that's in NeoVim, which is it's not similar, but it's very alike. So great. So we have you make a change, you commit a change, you push a change. Cool. You can also pull changes. At some point, if I'm making some changes, I'll be like, Mary, I'm done this feature. Can you pull it and test it on your local environment, for example? Or just pull it and deal with it. So that's sort of where we're at. I don't know what the next icon is below the source control one, the one with the star and the magnifying glass.
Which one? Oh, this?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Must be some AI thing.
Yeah, it is. Open a file
Right.
and right click.
See wiki on a symbol.
I don't even know what that means.
Right click. Oh, this.
Okay, see wiki. Let's see what happens.
Nothing happened.
Maybe do it on the. You see on line 20, there's the word document.
This.
Yeah, right click on it and see wiki.
Oh, is it like some explainer situation?
Yeah, that's what it seems like. I like that. This can be very useful for you when you're trying to if let's say git fetch was in the code and you were like, what's git fetch?
It's like
and you might want to
quick Google.
Yeah, it seems like an AI Google combo.
But now I'm like, what's the prop?
Yeah, it never ends. It never ends. I think part of programming, sometimes it's really important to draw boundaries on how deep you want to go. Because, and implicitly you already have these boundaries. Learning to control them is super important. Like, for example, you're not asking the question, hey, how exactly is this word being displayed on my monitor? You're not like, what's controlling each pixel? Like, you don't ask that, you accept it. So there's levels of acceptance that you do. And it's sort of important to understand, hey, like, I'm okay to accept this for now and maybe dig into it later when it's relevant. Because you're like, how relevant is it for you to understand how the pixel is shown? But here it's so tantalizing. It's like, document. What's the details? Because it's so accessible. But sometimes, and it's a fine balance of when you treat something as like you accept it or when you are like, oh, I need to understand it. Typically, I would say don't try and understand everything. And accept it until there's some issue that you need to dig deeper in order to solve something. And that's a good reason to be like, hey, there's an issue here. And let that guide you as a starting point, and later on go deeper broadly, because then it's just so easy to get lost. Or if you're like trying to implement something specific and you're looking at the documentation, that documentation will guide you to do that something specific. Just do it and then don't dig in further. I know it seems odd. I'm saying don't learn, but it's like you will
learn the pieces that
yeah, exactly,
help
like
unblock.
Yeah. It's a good strategy to when you're starting off, and then later on you're like, hey, I want to become more of an expert in the document thing in browsers. Then you're like, just use the document.
I never want to be an expert.
Don't never. Okay, sometimes say never, but don't say never now.
Okay.
Let's never say never is too easy, All right, let's look at the one below that. Fantastic. Hmm. Hmm. When we were doing the HTML application that we had, we noted that when you clicked on different files, this section showed us different commands
Yeah.
or different options. So I'm curious how this works here, because I would love for this to be super accessible for you. I just don't know how yet. Um, Up there in the file search, can you search for a file called package.json? Okay, I was hoping that maybe the debug and run on the side would like figure out that you're on a package.json, but no worries. I think what might happen is, I actually don't know what will happen. We'll have to figure it out. I'm hoping that we take, like step one is setting up, installing Windsurf. Step two is like question mark, question mark, question mark. And step five is profit. I'm just like, we're at question mark, question mark, question mark. And the last step is like, you can debug and run your application. So I think there might be a way to tell Windsurf or VS Code that we're in a Node application, and then it would know. I was hoping that would happen because typically Node applications have a package.json file with many descriptions. You can see like scripts there. Wait, right above this script, it says debug on line 4.
Yes.
That's the ID is adding that. What is that? Can you click and see? I want this to come on the side menu. Like, I think that's what I'm expecting, so that you can always just go there and run your thing. But in lieu of that, this is a great medium point. We will need to install Node on your machine. And maybe if Node was installed, it would have sensed this already. That's my guess, my hypothesis. So let's see. Let's see what happens when you click build. Just let's see. I'm hoping it says, hey, Node is installed or Node is not installed. Here I would have, okay, this is great. This is your terminal, by the way. But it's a Windows terminal, not a Linux terminal, or a Mac Unix-based terminal. I'm not as familiar with the Windows terminal because I don't live in it, but I assume for the most part, what we care about will be very similar. Here, can you type in node, N-O-D-E space, -V? So dash and then V as in Violet. Sorry, not a slash, but a dash.
Oh, dash. Sorry.
Yeah, and enter. So you do have Node installed. And Node
apparently.
Yeah. So what we want to do is also install something called pnpm. Okay. And there's you probably, because you have Node installed, you probably have a tool called npm installed. So no p up front. So type in npm-v so we can see what version is installed. Something changed on the side. Did you see that?
God. Yeah. What?
I don't know what. I don't know why.
What just happened?
Nobody knows. Unclear. But you do have npm installed and you have Node installed. Npm, are you familiar with what npm is?
No. I mean, I vaguely recall doing this,
Yeah.
but I was mostly just following some online instructions.
Yeah. So Node is kind of an application that runs JavaScript code, right? So it's able to run and execute. So typically JavaScript historically would only run in the browser. And then a developer was like, hey, so Google then made a engine that was interesting, better in many ways. And then and then open sourced it. And then a developer said, hey, what if I made it run locally outside the browser? And then it started a whole sequence of events that changed the landscape of web development. And so that's Node. It's essentially a JavaScript engine on the command line. Think of it that way. NPM is a package manager. So Node package manager, very similar to gems, right? There's gems out there with Ruby that you can bundle In the same way, there's node packages that you can pull and install. Okay, and npm helps you manage that amongst other things. That's not the only thing it does, but that's one main thing it does. PNPM is like a different version, or like a competitor, let's just say, of npm.
Okay.
Like sometimes a lot of times what happens is like whomever is managing npm, it might stagnate. They might not want feature. They might not prioritize features that you care about. And then because it's open source, people will be like, you know what? I'm going to create a similar one. I'm going to create my own and share it. So PNPM is like a different application that does things very similar to npm, but maybe it added a feature, and then later npm was like, hey, that feature is important. People are switching to PNPM. Let's copy that feature. So it just creates this sort of like competition / sharing environment. Okay, so we need to install PNPM on your machine, and I'm just Googling how to do it. Okay, so the command itself is npm space install space /g dash g, not slash, my bad, dash g, yeah, which is saying globally install space and then PNPM. This should work, but let's see.
What's this debugger attached business?
Yeah. So it seems like anytime you run a node command inside this IDE, it automatically attaches a debugger to it.
Okay.
Let's I think that's what we'll draw the boundary for now. Later on,
Okay.
it may be very useful. Now, I guess type in PNPM -v to see if it's installed. I really was hoping that it would be installed. Oh no, hold on.
Some security related thing?
Yeah. Cannot be loaded because running scripts is disabled on the system. Well, we do want to enable it, and it's unclear to me how, and this is where my unfamiliarity with the Windows system emerges. I'm Googling it, and maybe you're looking at something as well.
Yeah, I'm Googling. Let me just copy this. Oh.
You do have to say some policy thing locally in order for it to work.
There's some settings that's under developer mode.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're a developer. What are you waiting for? Get in there.
Okay.
Come on, Morty.
I'm not sure what I'm doing.
That's Morty. What did I just say?
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, let's see.
I turned this on. I don't know if that did anything or if it's even the right.
So when you went there, it brought you here?
Oh,
hold on. Below under PowerShell, it says change execution policy to allow local PowerShell scripts to run without signing. I don't know if that's what we want or how safe it is. It's not my machine, so I'm willing to try it. And then go back potentially and see what happens. Because that's the only thing I can see about execution that,
So do I just do it again?
Yeah, you press, hold on, sorry, if you may, press up.
Oh, okay.
And you could cycle through previous commands.
Like, should I be
download.
doing this or
This one. This
this?
is the one we want.
This? Okay. Oh,
It ran. Okay,
oh,
great. That was it.
it worked.
Yeah, amazing. So now we have PNPM installed here. Now let's go back between line 4 and 5, that debug helper. Let's click and let's try and build. I don't expect it to necessarily, but let's see what happens. Nux is not recognized as an internal or external command. Excellent. So this guy, I said we have to install Nux eventually, and it was like we're gonna have to install Node first. Sequence of events that we have to do. So let's install Nux, and the way we're going to do it is if you see, excuse me, you can see line 17 there, which is called dependencies.
Yes.
This file is very much like a gem file.
Yeah.
So where gem file lists kind of the gems that you are installing, this lists the dependencies, lists the node packages that you want installed. If you scroll down, there will also be a dev dependencies, which is slightly different from what we saw in the gem file. The gem file also has a facility for this. We just never got there. We don't have to worry about this too much. There's dev dependencies, and then there's overall dependencies. And really, when you install in dev, all of those get installed. And the way we want to install it, the command we want to run on the terminal, like I don't know if there's an IDE way of running this, so just this is what we have to do here, is run pnpm space install. And then without any additional parameters, this will install everything that's listed in this file. And hold on, wait, there's more. Before we run this, let's go up there to the extension, the Explorer, so we can see all the files. And on the side menu, the top one on the side menu, the file, Explorer. Yeah, so this is the Explorer. You'll notice there's a PNPM lock file, similar to how there was a gem lock file. And so all the versions that I installed on the node packages are locked, which means you get the same ones. So I just wanted to point that out, that there is a lock file, and it gets updated every time you add a new package, depending on the package that you add. So go ahead and install, and install the versions that are listed in that npm lock file. For the longest time, npm does have a lock file now, but for the longest time it didn't. And its competitors added the lock file feature.
I think my phone is off.
Sorry, what was that?
And I forgot.
Sorry. Either my connection is bad or your connection is bad. But I can see your screen updating, so your sharing is working. And I couldn't hear what you said last. So I can see your screen working. So I'll just wait for you to return. And in the meanwhile, I'll just play with my beard. I feel that's enough playing with my beard. That's not how I play with my beard. Just for the record, I do this, right? I'm just twisting. That's how I do it. This is just drama, okay? I'm not sure if you're still there, Mary. I'm not sure if I'm still there, to be honest, because I don't know who's not there. It's unclear to me whether my connection is bad or yours is. So I'm able to load Gmail, so it seems like my connection is fine. Maybe you are answering the door or something. And we'll just, I'll just stretch. I'll just stretch. You're back.
Sorry.
What? Did something happen?
No, my phone was going off, and I was like, "Where is my phone?" And turns out I left it somewhere else. similar to how I left my water bottle
Got it.
somewhere else
I
already.
didn't know what happened because right before you left, your words didn't come
Oh
through, and so I
no.
was like,
Okay.
okay, well, here I am.
What did you
I,
do? What did you think
I
happened?
don't know what happened. I thought maybe the connection was bad, but then I was like, wait, your screen is updating, so the connection is not that bad. And then I was like, maybe she just left,
Okay.
and I played with my beard a little bit. I did some stretching. It's true. It's what I did. Okay,
Okay. I have a problem with like not losing
mhm.
stuff, but like losing stuff too,
Leaving
but
stuff.
leaving stuff in random places. It's so
Mhm.
bad that on my water bottle I have a air
Oh
tag
wow,
because I literally I'm like I don't know where I left it.
got
I
it.
think I need air tags on
But
everything.
you can't have an AirTag on your phone because your phone is the central.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well, my phone is like I can find my phone using my watch.
Watch. There you go. That's why the Apple
That's
ecosystem.
why I have a
The
watch.
Apple ecosystem. Wait, are you on Android or Apple?
I'm on
Okay,
Apple.
yeah, because you have an AirTag. Yeah. So the Apple ecosystem was designed for people like you. They were like, we're gonna
Yes.
build a phone, we're gonna build a watch. The watch can find the phone, and the
Yeah.
phone can find the watch,
Yep.
and then you can find other things through the
As
watch
long
and
as
the
I
phone.
have one thing
Yeah.
attached to
All
me.
right. That's good to know. Mhm.
Honestly, my watch, like it's a smartwatch and it's expensive, but I use it as a regular watch and a way to find my other things.
Yeah, no, I can appreciate that. Have you heard of the Pebble?
Okay.
I used
Yes.
to have. I actually have it somewhere here, obviously, but it's not as. But I used to wear it regularly. That was my watch. That was my only smartwatch. RIP Pebble. I would if there was a similar watch, I might consider getting it. But okay, it's asking you a question, Mary. Are you interested in participating?
Should I
I
be?
think we can.
And also,
Yeah,
I don't know how. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Just
I was gonna
keyboard.
say I don't know how to
Yeah,
select it.
yeah. Let's not participate. Okay, so now it seems like there's some issues here because it says ignored build scripts. So if in that warning, in that huge warning text box, it says ignored build scripts, parcel this and this and this, run pnpm approved builds to pick which dependencies should be allowed to run scripts. We want to do that. So let's run pnpm approved builds. And I think we want to approve all. That's not an issue that I had locally. And so I'm just happy to just press space to select, and then space down all the way through. By the way, with your Ruby knowledge, you should be able to build interfaces like this, but you would probably need a gem to help you do that.
Oh, I should have just
Oh,
done
yeah, sure,
A. Right.
that's fine. Enter to continue. Yes, we approve. And now it's completing the install because it could not run certain scripts here. But let's just to make sure, let's run pm install again. If you press up a few times, you should see it, or you could retype it. Retype it like a loser. Okay, I see. That's the Rick vibes. I see.
Yeah, you should just lean into it.
He's so aggressive, so delightful. Okay, you could time travel. I love time travel. Big fan. Okay, so now it has been installed. Now I'm curious what that debug section looks like. I'm also curious why you have two.
What do you wait?
Mhm.
What do you mean that debug
The run and
section?
debug section. So on the side,
Ah,
yeah, you'll get used to it as we go. So it doesn't seem like there's something here, but what we might do if you're willing. So I was a bit hesitant to try this.
what's happening?
Yeah, let's see what two files have changed because it says two there. Now these files should not have changed ideally. Let's look at the diff here. I see. It's the settings that we added were added here, and it seems like it's oh, there's a lock file version. It's actually updated more than it should have. That's fine. Let's not worry about these changes for now. I do want to see the next file change, pnpm workspace. I see. I see. We probably want to keep these changes, but I partially understand them, so I'm definitely not gonna try and explain them. It's just it's I partially understand, but the other part I accept, right? So that's where I am here. And you will have to accept all of it. That's just how it is.
Cool.
All right. So
What else is new?
yeah, fair. Let's go to that run and debug area, and maybe let's try and experiment a little bit. That might fail. Um, I want to see what happens when you click open a file.
It opened like my like file explorer.
Can you select package.json in there? Like, I was hoping that it would detect package.json because it does realize the debug area of it. So no, that did not work. That's fine. What happens? It says to customize, run and debug, create a launch.json file. Click on that and let's see if it's able to detect. Okay, we do have a Node.js thing. So suggested, it says suggested Node.js. Let's select that. And now it should, it might, yeah. I'm not entirely sure.
Gulp task. What is all this?
Yeah, I don't know. I would have hoped that it would have figured it out based on the package.json file and given us those things, especially in a Node app. You would expect that. Maybe you could just press enter. I want to see what happens when you run Node.js tool. Great. I think here, can we select pnpm? Is that a possibility here? Let's type it in. No. Okay. So it's not what I had expected. Let's just escape out of here and not spend. Maybe just save the file. And let's see. Okay. Yeah. This is not. That's unfortunate. We might spend some time later on trying to figure this out, but for now, let's go to the source control thing. Yeah. And you know where it says launch.json? That thing we're just going to revert. Discard, yeah. And that should ideally discard the whole file. Perfect. Now, what I'll say is this, is for now, just get used to coming back to the package.json file to run a task or a command. The one we're going to try and run now is, actually, hey, wait a minute. What happened when you just hovered over like dev on line number 7? Click on run script, please. So here it's trying to run. It seems like it's gotten some errors, but I'm not sure if those errors or they're just like warnings. Can you make that terminal thing larger? Oh, that's unfortunate. Crypto.hash is not a function. I'm going to Google that. Oh, okay, great. Okay, cool. So this is happening because the Node version that you have installed locally doesn't have this function. And so I'm going to quickly check what version of Node I had installed. So it turns out, after all, we will need to install Node on your machine. I have Node 20.19. Press Control C here, please, to kind of escape out of here. Press Enter. Okay, great. Now, type in Node-V again. Right. So I'm on Node 20.19, and you're on Node 20.10,
Mm.
and Node 20.12 is the version that has that. So upgrade Node on Windows is what I'm googling. It turns out that you will have to go to nodejs.org and download their installer,
Oh, really?
and you can actually, let's see, nodejs.org, get node, and I'm just trying to see here what they have available. Um, right on the get node thing, you will see different versions up top. 24 is the latest one. I wouldn't risk it because I don't know what'll happen. I'm on an older version of Node. If you can find 20.19 on that list, which I'm not sure.
Um, I'm just gonna share my
Yeah,
browser because I'm not sure.
yeah. I'm just saying words. Yeah, on that list
Like,
up top,
what
if
is
you can click on that and scroll down to 20.19 and select that, the LTS, perfect. Yeah,
this one?
and then let's see for Windows using. Let's look at that using dropdown. Yeah, it's unclear to me how your current version was installed, so let's actually ignore that. Let's go down where it says Windows Installer, MSI, and let's get that one. And even if it does install a latest version of Node, we'll just chance it and see how it goes. And now you might
Cool.
understand a little bit where, like, if 2 months ago where you were like, hey, can I get this set up locally? And I'd be like, let's just wait a little bit. Like, so the layers and the levels of things that we have to do step by step, it's just it's not fluid.
Okay. I'm sharing the little wizard because I'm not
Mhm.
sure if I should be clicking this checkbox.
I would do it. Yeah, like if I was installing it, I would do it. If it messes up something on your system, then we'll just end the stream and cry separately. Like, I don't know what we're not gonna cry together because I just want a private moment. We could cry together later. I just want because then we'd be like, it's done. We failed miserably, and that's just what our life is.
Okay, it opened whatever this is.
Yeah, we don't read things, so any key to continue is the one we read. You think I got to where I am in life by reading warning messages and terms and conditions?
It says, warning, it's very likely you will need to close and reopen your shell before you can use
Okay,
something.
I agree. Remember, just accept. You know what I said before? You accept things.
It's just doing something.
Yeah, so I think it's probably installing a bunch of tools that allows it to install Node. Because you're not coding on your system, it's unlikely to impact any of your other applications. If you were a coder who was like, let's say you were like a Python coder or like another coder, and you were like trying to learn Node, and this came up, I'd be like, yo, bro, let's not install this. I don't know how it'll mess your Node, your Python setup. I mean, in this case, it's kind of like,
Blank slate.
yeah. Like, what's the worst that could happen? You'll have to buy a new computer. Not my money. So, I'm thinking of a separate thing, which I don't know whether I want to discuss on stream. But now that I said it, I guess I will. Or I'm gonna leave you hanging. I'd be like, we can discuss later.
Yeah.
But I guess
You're not gonna remember.
so. I'm not. It's obviously I can be provoked, like Rick is, of course. But also, he's a very intentional person, very manipulative, dare I say. And like we've had some discussions around levels of manipulation that I may or may not engage in. It's also weird. I just, and
You don't have to talk
I,
about it on
I'm just
stream.
saying. I'm even drawing more parallels now that I think about it to that kind of a character. Although he is way more manipulative, he could also be very cruel, and that is something I aspire to. Uh, but I don't practice it actively. Like it's just I'm in my heart. I'm really cruel, and then I filter that cruelty into like, hey, maybe can we? I channel my inner Morty. Like my essence is Rick, but then I'm like, maybe I can mortify this communication, you know, instead of just outward. So it seems like there is. Is that an error? Is that an error I see before me?
No, it stopped.
Could not. Some. Yeah, let's press enter a few times just to see where it net out. Yeah, it might have just said, "Hey, peace out." It might, yeah, yeah. It might also have been just a mild network lapse where maybe something on the internet didn't respond properly, or maybe your connection was mildly flaky. We don't know. I'm curious what happens when you press Control C here, whether it'll allow you to restart or rerun, or whether it's just let's close the whole thing.
Oh, it closed.
Let's run it again. Let's give this another shot. Remember this when I was like, we'll just have to brute force our way through, and it might make for unexciting television. This is where we're at. This is why we're talking about Rick while, we could try and repair.
Oh, I don't know why it just like stopped sharing. It is doing something.
I think it's just because they're different windows, and you're sharing a window at a time. So it opens up a different window in order to do the next thing. I wonder if there's a book out there. Sorry, I'm still on this. This is my narcissistic tendencies coming out.
Wait, it says it finished.
I'm not done talking about Rick, Mary. Come on.
You mean yourself?
What's the difference? Sorry, you please go ahead. What did it say? What happened?
It said it finished.
Maybe it is finished. So maybe we can trial it out. If you could share windsurf again.
How do we know? But please continue.
I wonder if someone's done like a character analysis of Rick, like from a psychological perspective. Because people write books about fictional characters like this, and I would definitely.
I think there's a YouTube channel.
Somebody on YouTube is like, let's analyze Rick, and the Citadel of Ricks. Oh my god! Oh, so good.
Okay, have you watched what is it like? I think it's like Psychologist or Therapist React or something.
No, I don't. I have not.
That's gotta be, yeah. I know there's a channel, but I just don't remember what exactly it was. Something to rabbit hole into later.
Yeah, no, I would definitely read a book on Rick if someone had written something. Let's do a Node-V here to see if there's any difference in this system. There isn't, although if you recall, previously it said you have to restart. Some maybe type in exit here. I'm curious what happens when you do that. Okay, and now up top, remember the button you need to click to load the kind of panel again. And hopefully this starts a new session. You could press up here still to see if it triggers. Yeah, there you go. No, did not work, unfortunately. I wonder if there's another way we can install Node that isn't as overbearing. So let me just quickly see some of these options here. There's Chocolatey. There's Volta. We don't want to use Docker. Are you willing to go down another rabbit hole?
Always.
Okay. So in the on the Node installation page,
Yes.
we're going to try a different system. Wait. Before you share, in this terminal, can you type in Volta, VOLTA, and then -V again? Typically, like most, not all command line commands, but most command line commands offer a -V option. So super safe to kind of just do a -V to see if it's available. It's not. That's fine. Go ahead now. Go ahead into your browser, the Node.js download version with all those options, and we're going to select a few options that might give you a path forward.
Okay.
And we're going to use this very terminal to get it set up. Actually, in fact, you could actually stay here. So don't share that screen. Just have it,
Oh, okay.
do your thing, because you're going to copy paste command by command from that screen into this screen, and so we'll see. What I like, and I don't know how Volta works, but we tried Chocolatey and it seemed like it didn't work. So wait a minute, we could actually try it again. Why not? Great. You know where it says get node and you selected 2019? Yes? I can read it to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you on that page
Yeah.
now? Great.
Yeah.
Make sure you select Windows. So up top, select Windows.
Yep.
And then select Chocolatey from the next drop down using Chocolatey.
Okay. Yep.
And now we can also, at the end of it, say with PNPM.
Okay.
Okay. On line 2, I believe, you're going to copy that command.
Okay.
Just that one. Don't copy the whole thing because we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Paste it here. And good luck to us. Okay. So it seems like you probably have Chocolatey already installed. So the way we can check again is, let's do Choco, CHOCO, space -V. Yeah, see, I don't know why that would happen. At one stage, it's like, hey, it's already installed. So maybe something went wrong just in the installation of Chocolatey. So let's go back to the using dropdown and select Volta.
Okay.
And now let's try and get Volta. So the second line you're going to copy, and we're going to try and install Volta. And if this doesn't work, maybe it's give up o'clock. I don't know. Of course we agree. I agree.
We're desperate.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know who you're talking to? Of course we agree. Okay. So now line number 5, you're going to copy over. Let's exit this PowerShell. It might be the case that the PowerShell needs to be restarted before it recognizes Volta.
How do I just...
Yeah, kill terminal is good. And now again, open it up. And then I'm hoping this is a different PowerShell. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, we're going to try this, actually. We're going to try one more thing. In your Windows, you don't have to necessarily share this. Just maybe once it's ready in your kind of Windows thing, open that up and type in PowerShell, and it might even give you an option to run PowerShell as administrator. Is that an option on that list? PowerShell as administrator or something like that?
Yes.
Go ahead and select that.
Okay.
They'll say, do you accept whatever? Okay, great. Now you should be seeing a terminal,
Yeah.
which if you want to share, you can now. I didn't want you to necessarily have to share your Windows selection or whatever, but if it's open, we can share it. And because now we do have to see okay, great. So now you're administrator. I'm trying to try and eliminate reasons or whatever. I'm like, maybe that doesn't work because you're not admin. Maybe it doesn't work because the PowerShell inside Windsurf terminal is a slightly different one. I don't know. It could be anything. For test case purposes, I wouldn't mind going back to Chocolatey.
Okay.
And copy pasting line 2. If it doesn't work, we'll try it again. Now, this is one of the other things. It seems like a lot of repetition, but we've changed a variable, and we don't know whether that variable is going to impact what happened before or is going to impact what happens now. So now again, we're going to do something Choco-V again. It is here. Well, you look at that. So now let's try the Choco install command on line 5.
So, what is this error about then?
Because we were trying to install Choco, and it's telling us that it's already installed.
Okay.
But for whatever reason, that other terminal, probably because it doesn't have admin capabilities, did not allow us to execute Choco. I mean, why are you reading?
What is all scripts? What is
yeah, I would go all or yes. I mean, yes seems more responsible. But either way is fine.
Are we responsible here?
I mean, I'm curious to see what other things it might prompt us with. Okay, so it says it's done something here. And go ahead and type in node-v. It's still the old version. If you would, please restart your administrator PowerShell. Maybe that's required. If that doesn't work, then we have to try a different strategy. And this is again, from before when I was like, hey, we're going to have to cycle through things, try the same thing 100 times before it works. Ideally, it doesn't happen. Ideally, things just work fluidly, but we are in unfamiliar territories. Maybe pressing up. I know I keep bringing it up, but it's just just for you to get into the habit, so it's in your heart.
I thought that each time that you restart, it resets that.
Well, here's the thing. I did not know either, but my instinct is to try it, so we learn, right? So that might not have worked, and I would have said, "Oh, it doesn't work because of yada yada yada." Okay, no good. Okay, give me 1 second to Google something. Windows install. Because Node is installed on your machine, something installed it, and it's likely the case that that's taking precedence over whatever else. Can you locally in this thing type in NVM?
Wait, where?
Right here in this terminal.
Right
here. Yeah, NVM space -v. I'm trying to see which package manager. Yeah. So NVM is not here. So on Linux, there are some tools that allow us to see where something was installed. I'm going to see whether there's similar ones on Windows. If you just give me a moment. Okay, it seems like the command is called where. So please type in where space node.
Just that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Where space node.exe. Okay. But node is there.
Should
Let's
like
see.
could we do this like force situation
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
something?
Absolutely. I mean, look, we're already on accept all level. So absolutely we should try that.
But how do I just do?
Yeah. I would say if you just press up a few times until you get to the Choco command, and then you're going to add dash dash force to the end of it. So what's happening here is like it is installed. So maybe just give me a second. Choco link node. There is a way. There should be a way to link what we have here to the installation. Give me 1 second. Chocolate. I'm just looking at the docs here for chocolatey to see. Okay. Maybe at this point we can go back and try Volta to see if there we have any luck where you could do the winget install Volta.
Like here?
Yeah. And then line 2 again, you'll paste here. Yeah. Because the thing is, I think it's installed. So I think it's installed node in a certain directory, but your entire system doesn't have access to that node. It's using a different node. We don't know where that different node is installed, and so like we're just in this like place. But I'm hoping it's Volta because it seems like Volta's already installed. And so go ahead and node-v now.
Ooh.
It was Volta. So your previous installation came from Volta, and Volta was the thing. And so,
Okay.
but we have to go through. You can see here why, like, as like someone who is unaware, and that's me. That's not you I'm talking about. As someone's unaware about the system, how we kind of went about step by step and eliminating stages, trying a few things, didn't work, give up, trying another option. So we tried inside. You know, this is kind of the persistence it takes to get through. Where people, again, I'll repeat this, is like people think you have knowledge, or like I have knowledge as someone's experience. This was done without knowledge, right? Like it's just, but you get it to work, and that's really the quality that you kind of want is the willingness to accept all, and and
But
risking
also,
it.
but also like knowing where like what to try next.
That comes after having experimented so many times where I didn't know what to try next. That's just the path that you have to do, or watching tutorials and so forth. So, but here we did it tutorial-less, essentially, right? Like I don't even know what Volta is. Come on, because
I don't know what Volta is.
So I
I don't know what any of this is.
Yeah, Volta is like a package manager as well. It seems for other kinds of packages, like, but not like a package like a node package, but a command line program. So Volta might be like a package manager for general command line programs on Windows. That's probably it. And I'm happy not knowing or ever looking at it again. Let's exit out of here. Let's get into our Windsurf and see node-v in that terminal without restarting the terminal to see whether it's referencing the latest point. Oh no, I guess we will have to restart the terminal by default. Node-v up in here.
Oh no, why?
Oh,
Do I need to like restart windsurf?
yeah, let's try that. That would have been my instinct as well at this point to be like, hey, what's up? Because we got through the PowerShell. There were a few extra commands that we may have. Let's see.
We did it.
I don't think it actually quit because it has your terminal history here. Oh, did it? It did work. Sorry.
Yeah, it worked.
You ran it, and then you. Okay, great. Because I was kind of looking at the pattern. I was like, we already did this. Amazing. Congratulations, everyone. We did it. First try. Nailed it. Didn't even. All right. Let's do npm-v. Great. Now let's do pnpm-v just to make sure that, because we have a new node version, it might point to different areas. Okay, seems like we have these things installed. Let's do pnpm install again just to make sure. We're just kind of covering our bases. Okay, great. And I think the last thing we did was something like dev or build, right? So let's go ahead and try dev again, where you could click the debug. Sorry, not dev. We never did that. When I said, here's my Rick. When I said again, Mary, that should have clued you in to not try something totally new. That's what I actually want to be like. No, not any of this. Not any of this. Sorry. Just take a breather. There you go. Yes, there you go.
Wait.
You can either debug, use the debug thing between 4 and 5. Because I feel
does it do the same thing?
It ends up running the same thing ultimately, but it just gives you a fuller menu with like.
Oh. Okay.
This feels nicer, but it's at the end of the day, it's running the same thing.
Okay, I didn't realize this just mapped to this.
Yeah, you can do either one, I believe. So go ahead and run script here. We have a problem again. Now it's just messing with us. Now it's just like, because the same problem that we had before. Can you control C out of here? And then let's, maybe just press enter. Great. Can you try?
Do we have Nuxt?
We do have Nuxt, but maybe not the correct node version is being used inside this debug thing. So maybe let's just get you familiar with the terminal. Let's type in node-v again, just to double check and make sure that we're in the correct universe. Okay. Now let's do pnpm space dev. That doesn't make sense to me, where like why would not be picking up the correct thing. But we're going to try a few more things. We have not given up yet. Let's control C out of here. Because we installed the new node thing, I want to delete the node module. So the way node modules is when you do pnpm install, it's getting all those node packages and putting them in your local directory. It stores them in something called what's called node modules, which is like a black hole, which you won't know this. It's an inside joke, and you're standing on the outside. But and I won't even say it, but you might come across it naturally, and then you'll be like, Adnan is hilarious. Okay, so if you can go into the Explorer, so you can see all the files on the side there. And here, you see node modules up there, up top, under components. We're going to right-click and we're going to get rid of the whole thing.
Like
delete.
delete?
Yeah, YOLO.
Are you sure?
Am I sure? No, but I feel like we should commit.
Okay.
Okay, now that it's gone, let's go back into the terminal and do pnpm install again. And all I'm doing here is saying, hey, maybe because we installed our node modules in one node version, it
Hmm.
took properties of that, and now that we have a different node version, this is my hypothesis. I don't know. This is again lack of knowledge, but I know that we can delete node modules and try again. And now what I'd like to do is, again, even though we could do pnpm dev in the terminal here, I want to see if after this installation, it still works through that debug up there in the code. So let's try and start dev from the run script area. Okay, seems positive, right? No, God damn it. That's not cool. That is definitely not cool. Give me a few seconds to run some commands locally on my machine. Yeah, so what could it be? Can you scroll up, please, here? Oh, okay. 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 I will say other words than okay when I'm ready. Okay? Don't,
Okay.
yeah, don't force me.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So one thing we're gonna try is note that I was like, hey, the pnpm lock file shouldn't change, but it has changed, and maybe there's something we can learn from that. So what I'd like you to do is go ahead and delete the node modules. No, let's keep the node modules. Let's actually keep them. Let's go to the source control area here and blow away these two changes. Just revert, discard, yes. Okay, great. Now, my PNPM version is 8.3.1. Your PNPM version is 10 point something point something. And I want to eliminate that as a potential cause of this issue here, because you might be getting a newer Nux version than what I'm getting. So let's Control C out of here. Let's get back into the other terminal and let's actually very quickly, let's do a pnpm dev just to see what happens right now in this, because that's the one we didn't try. We tried it through the we tried it to the file system, but we didn't try it through here. Okay, same thing, no problem. Just confirm. Just, I'm just eliminating a potential variable. Okay, npm pnpm-v, please. And 15. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so here's what we're going to try. npm space install -g. Okay, space pnpm at.
One word or?
So yeah, the at symbol, my bad.
Oh, at.
8.3.1. Enter. Now, ideally, the case is that I should probably update my PNPM version so it's newer, but let's see here. Now let's do. Hold on, wait a minute. Do a pnpm-v because it probably doesn't work. Oh, it does. So I think we're fine. Let's get rid of the node modules again. Okay, so we've gotten rid of the node modules. We have removed any lock file changes. We are going to be running npm install once again.
Just this one.
Yeah. And then once this is done, we're going to be running dev again from the code. And then if that doesn't work, we'll try it again from the command line. Just so we covered our bases, potentially learned some things. But my hope is that this one will work and we'll be one step closer. We still probably have to modify. We do have to run some additional commands, even if this does work, to get the app actually functioning. And hopefully once that happens, that's when we can maybe wrap up and then just talk about Rick and Morty and more. We can talk about Morty.
I've never seen you so enthusiastic about anything. Truly.
No, I was very pleased. I was very pleased when you said that I have Rick vibes. I was very. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Amazing. I was gonna say,
mm-hmm.
I mean, nobody who's watching this will get this, but at work we have the software where we can we have like a digital workspace, and Adnan, you have the power to create portals.
Oh,
and I was
wow.
Oh my god,
even yeah,
yeah,
just really leaning in there. Oh, wow. I'm just, I was already full of myself, and now
oh no,
and now I'm overflowing.
Oh no.
Now all right.
I need take back these.
No, it's not. You've opened a whole can of worms through a portal. Okay. So now we'll go back to line number 7, dev, and retry running dev. And hopefully we move further than we did before. Yes, we got it. First try, nailed it. Now, I just a point of note. When people are like, "Hey, developer, how long will this take?" And you're like, "Fuck if I know." This is why, because a thing that would have taken X amount of time in this case takes that amount, which is why it's so hard to like. And this times 10, then you're done. Like it's over. So localhost 3000. Let's try that in the browser. It might not function the way we intend, and we're going to fix that.
Wait, I don't know what I did. Do I just copy this?
Yeah. Presumably you see things?
Yes, I see things. Let me switch to it. I see things.
Great. Amazing. This is a great step. The app, I don't think will work at the moment. There's a few things we have to do. So if you go back to your other thing. Yeah. Are you on a laptop?
No, I'm on a desktop.
Oh, really?
Yes.
With your large screen monitor?
Yeah.
Does your Dell have the option of splitting your screen into multiple screens? We don't have to do that now. I'm just suggesting it as a way of like isolating a certain area of your monitor to be streamed, so you can share the entire window thing. And then maybe in the other one you have, because some monitors do allow that functionality of like kind of pretending like they're 2 monitors instead of 1. But not something we have to look into now. For now, what I'd like you to do is we're going to create a .env file. Okay.
Where?
Yeah. These are all good questions you ask. Just give me 1 second Okay. So right alongside git ignore, if you will, that's the level at which we want to create this file. So I right click on git ignore. I wonder if it'll just let you make another file. Like, is there a new file option or something? Um, that's fine. If you go all the way up where it says Cocoon,
Yep.
and right click. Oh, there you go. Okay, file. Yeah. And now .env is what you'll type for the file name. And then I'm going to copy paste to you in our secret chat window what you need to put in here. So in this file, you're going to put that one line, which will define where. So we're using a database called SQLite. And this is purposely why I picked this database. It's a file system based database. Is it the best database ever? Maybe. A lot of people like it actually, but it's not Postgres, as you'll see, because if we had to like install Postgres, that's a whole other like series of issues and tragedies that we would have to go through. Like typically, you do need to go through if that is a required dependency. But the whole idea between picking SQLite was to reduce that dependency, so we have one less thing to worry about. Now, just for consistency's sake, let's Control C out of the dev thing at the bottom there. Yeah, and then let's restart this. Great. And the reason, even though it did restart on its own, we're just making sure here. Now, we do want to run one other task, which is on line 15, the DB migrate task.
Wait, is this?
Okay. And it's running another window. It should run. And then be done. I am. Wait a minute. I'm a bit confused here. And the reason for that is I only see one thing, create user, up there. If you scroll up on the migration thing, it's like create user is the only thing. I would have expected. Oh no, we're not using the SQLite database. Now, this is fine. This is correct. Because we're using IndexedDB on the browser side. I was like, I would have expected to see like the journal table or whatever, but we never used it. So this is correct. Let's press any key to close it. Now our database is kind of up to date, quote unquote. And now let's get back to sharing the browser, and let's go on /mood, like localhost 3000 /mood.
Oh my god.
Would you like to add another mood snapshot? Question mark.
Always. Oh. Oh, wait.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little flaky at the start, but maybe this is fine, and we could try a few steps. My concern is that the open API thing might not work, and we should adjust that. And I will show you how to do that in a second. Maybe let's get there and have it fail. Don't you feel like a grown-up now?
Yeah.
Don't you feel like, wow,
So cool.
like you've grown 2 feet also? You're taller than everybody else that you know. Like
Okay, I'm gonna copy my journal from today.
Oh wow.
Oh, it's gonna fail, isn't it?
Yeah, because you need to chill.
Is it just gonna get stuck?
And get a life. That's why. Yeah, I think so, because it's trying to access. So what I'd like you to do without
Oh my
sharing.
god! Did you just read this?
Yeah. I wasn't being Rick. I was literally reading. You're like his challenge, you know. But
funny.
if you The thing is, you know how before on the code sandbox thing, you kind of hard coded your open API key?
Yes.
We are not going to do that, okay? So just as love, we're
Is
not going
that
to do that.
is that going into the .m file?
Yes, exactly.
And I should not share my screen for that part.
Yes, that's why I was like, let's not share that. But I just want to make sure by looking at the code, open AI. Yeah, so you want to,
Let me go find my key.
yeah. And in the private chat, I'll message you what the environment variable is called. And then you'll just want to enter your private key there. There's probably other ways to make that available. But once you do that, once you enter your private key in the .env file, you will have to Control C out of your pnpm dev and then restart it. So that's
Okay,
just to be safe.
one step at a time.
No, no, I've said the steps, and you will now have to listen.
I'm still
You're
like getting into my OpenAI thing because of the
mm,
authentication
well,
thing.
I've said what I was going to say. And good luck to you.
Okay, where is my API? So with the API situation, like,
Mhm.
is there any reason why I shouldn't just create a new one? Because I'm not sure if I can access my last one.
You mean the key?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could use any key. Like it's not
Okay.
whatever key you create is fine as long as it's in your account and OpenAI is happy that you have paid for it.
Okay. Have a key. So I'm doing OpenAI API key.
Equals. I've copy pasted the specific
Yeah.
thing, just so yeah. And then because you're really great at doing 10 things at once, you will have remembered exactly the sequence of steps I gave or I recited. So go ahead and do
Do
go ahead and do
I?
those.
Okay. Do I copy the key without like any like quote marks or anything like that?
Yeah, you could. I mean, typically an end file accepts both formats, but let's try it without quotes first.
Okay. I have no idea what happens next.
Just try and focus. What I was saying. Just try and just get a sense of. Or actually, you should know because we already did it the last time we changed the end file. Do you remember what we did?
Uh, we we did it. We did it. It
We did
worked.
what?
Wait,
We did what?
unless I
Oh, it did
mean,
work.
yeah, it worked.
Okay. It works because it does. So the app is designed to restart itself
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you modify the end file. But just to make sure, you ought to do it manually. But if it worked, it worked. Let's try again. Let's finish and save this, and then let's try another one.
Okay.
Okay, look at that.
Wow, so fun. That's a terrible journal.
This is good. No, this is great. Hobbies. Hobbies are fun. Um, all right. Look at that.
Hmm.
So now you have
Are we
this
there?
here.
Are we there?
Yeah,
Are we at the
we're done.
goal?
Yeah, we did it. We did it. First try. No issues.
2 hours. 2
Well,
hours
that's actually
exactly.
no, that's not bad. That's actually very good. Um, for next steps, I'd like you to think about kind of the features that you want to experiment building via Windsurf. Even the AI component of it, I think, is fine. We don't have to lean into the full coder thing yet. There's a lot there that will take a bit of time for you to learn and become familiar with. We can work through that together. One feature that I would love to see, in order to tie things together, but also to make you feel pretty powerful, is here in this environment, we write an export data and import data feature, right? So you can export your journals into a CSV file and then import them, or not CSV, a JSON file, right? So you export, it gives you a JSON file, and then you can import it. We're going to commit the code here. We're going to deploy that code to Code Sandbox. You're going to use that Code Sandbox to export your journals from there and then import them locally. Does that make sense? Like your journals are in that database there in the Code Sandbox URL.
Yeah.
We want to get them out, but we can't build those features in Code Sandbox. Does that make sense? I know it kind of like, it seems like you got it. It took 2 seconds, but you got there. That was good. But we have to code the features here, test them, deploy them to that environment, access it through there, export our journals there, and implement our local environment. And then we're
so involved.
Isn't that pretty neat though? Just like, because let's say you were stuck and you didn't have that, like, like when you have the ability to code, you could almost do anything. That is really what I want to impress. Like, oh, my journal, I don't know how to get them out. I don't know how IndexedDB works. Okay, fine, no problem. Let's step by step try and build those features here in a completely unrelated environment. You have access to update that environment, and that's all you really need, baseline. You have some AI tooling here, and that's a kind of a great feature experiment. And then later on, think about some other features that you feel like are fairly simple. The export import is
not the cat.
Yeah, just to start, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, the reason for that is really kind of just one step at a time level, where ideally you don't have this frustrating experience with the cat and then walk away with like some distaste. That's really it. That's actually my goal, is like, let's have you experiment with the AI with some other features that we actually don't care about as much, so that the experience, the learning and frustration experience, we can refine it. And then you're like, oh, I feel comfortable in this environment. Let me do something I care about.
Cool. I'm really excited.
Awesome.
This is a great day.
Yeah, we did it. We're both Rick and Morty and Dora the Explorer at the same time. We did it.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is great.
Cool.
Are we signing off?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
yeah. I don't think there's more to be done here, unless we want to build the feature. You know what I mean? One thing I would recommend that you do on your own time as homework here as well,
so much homework.
Try and get familiar with Windsurf's AI thing. I'm unfamiliar with it entirely, so either you can do it on stream for the first time, but just as a way of getting comfortable, maybe on a different project even. For you to just play around with it a little bit, get some familiarity, get a sense of how you want to use it, and then maybe we can bring that on stream, or you could try it on stream for the first time. I think both of those are valid things. The other thing I would say long term, if you want to be like in a coding environment, is I would recommend watching VS Code tutorials for beginners. And because Windsurf is essentially VS Code modified, what you learn there you can leverage broadly. Like, I don't know what it will teach you, but I know that it will make you more comfortable over time. And if you want to transition to coding in a VS Code environment, that will pay dividends for you.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
If I do vibe, if you will,
mm-hmm.
like, how do I prevent creating a disaster?
Well, we're using Git, so we can always revert to the last working version. Even if you commit a disaster, we can still revert to a last working version.
Okay.
And that's where the Git thing comes in. And it was kind of asked in our coding thing that we were doing, like how Git and whatever. It's just a lot to like, just look at this. Like, when you're kind of struggling with certain things, I wouldn't want to add Git and you're like, what's Git fetch? And it's just a lot. But for now, we just kind of did surface level, and you have enough Git to be dangerous to yourself. So, you know what I mean? Like, you know how to commit, you know how to push, great. You cannot mess things up further from this point. Like,
Okay.
we can always revert to the point we're at now. So
Okay.
even if you commit, we can remove those commits. It's called commit reversion. We can revert those commits. So we have a baseline, and you're going to be fine. You know how to discard changes if you don't like them. You know how to commit changes. So you will have the stream to go back to actually to take a look. Or like I said, if you go to a VS Code tutorial, they'll probably recover those things. They might even go into more depth than I did. I'm not even familiar with VS Code. So this was sort of like, kind of feeling our way around. But yeah, you will gain a bunch of knowledge that you'll be able to leverage.
Cool. I'm
All right.
excited.
Yeah. Okay. Well, folks, thank you for joining us on this journey, this unexpected detour where we were both nervous and
I was afraid.
scared. Yeah, same. What's the difference? But
you
I hope
came across as competent, so
that's
great.
That's all I wanted to hear. We managed to maintain the facade of competency, and we're going to continue to hold it up for as long as we can. And the next time we will come back, experiment with Windsurf's AI features, have Mary build a feature. It might not be the import export thing. I just threw that out as a way of like maintaining journal continuity for you as you're using the app to have your data in there. But we could do these other things by leveraging AI and see where it takes us. So onward and forward, and we'll see you at a random time, but most likely next Friday, but also possibly a random time. Because now, who knows? I feel like Mary might be inspired to be like, hey, it's Sunday evening.
I am.
Yeah, it's Sunday evening. I have some time. I'm an adult.
It's 1 a.m.
Yeah, I can do whatever. If you do a 1 a.m. stream and I'm awake at that point, I will join you.
Okay, good to know.
If you do a 1 a.m. stream, if you want to do a 1 a.m. stream and I'm not there, also you should absolutely do an in between 1 a.m. stream. Do not let, like I said, do not let the feeling of wanting to build subside. Just do it. And I think that's fine. You can also experiment off stream if that's also comfortable for you, because now you have the environment, you can play around with it. You already know you don't know how to revert per se, but you know how to discard changes. So you're going to be fine. So yeah, you can experiment off stream. But yeah, we might return at a random point. I can sense it. I can sense it in the air that a random in between might be in the books. But if not, we'll see you next Friday. Let's go home. Wubba dubba dub dub.